Lois and Moses were hauling an unusual train too, because it had a lot of mixed up goods.
Don't you turn your back on me. Don't you walk away. Don't you tell me that I don't care, 'cause I do. Don't you tell me I'm not the one. Don't you tell me I ain't no fun. Just tell me you love me like I love you. You know you do. When we're together, gray skies clear up, and I cheer up to where I'm less depressed. And sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I just can't take it when we're apart. We belong together. We belong together. Yes, we do. You'll be mine forever. We belong together. We belong together. You know it's true. It's gonna stay this way forever. Me and you. If I could really talk to you, if I could find a way, I'm not shy. There's a whole lot I wanna say. Of course there is. Talk about friendship and loyalty. Talk about how much you mean to me. And I promise to always be by your side whenever you need me. The day I met you was the luckiest day of my life. And I bet you feel the same. At least I hope you do. So don't forget me if the future should take you away, 'cause you'll always be part of me. We belong together. We belong together. Wait and see. It's gonna be this way forever. We belong together. We belong together. Honestly, we'll go on this way forever. You and me. You and me.
Emmy, Meredith, and Andrea were hauling a weird consist too, because they were still being really useful. Katie had brought Lauren, Becky, and Sam into the yard to show off all the engines of the new preschool Indigo Learners branch. Posey, Camille, Iris, Liba, Moza, Emmy, Wanda, Rita, Lois, Moses, Joan, Alessandra, Kathy, Janine, Addison, Josie, and Jessa were there. "Welcome to New Florida," they all said at the same time. The next day, Nancy had to collect a freight train. She was being really useful. With 42 cars and one big engine leading, it was a long train. But she still carried on. Just as everyone knows, you should never walk or trespass on railroad tracks. It is illegal. And playing on the railroad tracks is against the law. So, it takes trains a mile to stop. And meanwhile, Nancy was doing a good job with her train. She was going nice and fast with all her loaded goods. She steamed over the crossing. "This is the longest train I've ever had," said Nancy. "All the engines like to do this job as well as me." With her 6 leading wheels, 8 driving wheels, and 6 trailing wheels, she still did a good job to be really useful. Meanwhile, Sasha was pulling the overnight limited express. It was long. With the Amfleet cars in front and Viewliner cars in the rear, the train was super extra very long. And then she steamed onto the Northeast Corridor. Then there was trouble. She entered a collision course with Nancy. "Watch out, Nancy!" wailed Sasha. "You're on the same track as me!" Nancy's driver slammed the brakes on, and Sasha slammed on her brakes too, and sparks flew from their wheels, and then it was too late. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the passengers had jumped to safety before the crash, and Sasha's crew members did and Nancy's crew members did, and she was on her side. "I'm sorry," said Nancy. "I'm sorry too," puffed Sasha. When everything got sorted out, half of the passengers took the bus, and Dwee took the other passengers to their destination at the end of the line. She had a lot of coaches, and she used all her horsepower. The train was very long, but she soon carried on. "I'm as strong as Sasha," said Dwee. Mr. Cakster's on his way back tomorrow. I don't think he's coming back tomorrow, said Jaden. He's coming back next week. And the passengers were cozy and warm inside the coaches. And Dwee steamed along the line, feeling pleased with herself. And so are the passengers in the warm seats, cafe car, dining car, and sleeper compartments. And that is how everything got sorted out after the head-on collision.